students. You send our students to Demont University, you must understand how incredibly difficult and hard that is. They're leaving their loved ones, their family, their friends, something very unfamiliar to them. To come overseas, meet new people, learn new language, be confident, and it's extremely difficult. So today you're going to be in the students' shoes, understand how they feel. And you also, I can see around the room, you probably don't know everyone in this room, so you're going to meet new people. This is going to be like a professional networking session as well. So don't think of this as an informal session, think of it as a high quality session where you, like Monkey said, we want you to interact with one another. So that's enough about me, my experience at Demont University. It's going to be down to you now. So, what's this going to be about? I'm going to deliver this session today over the next hour and a half, 2 hours, in the style of an assessment centre. Does anyone know what an assessment centre is? Completely fine if you don't know what an assessment centre is. So, at Demont University, when graduates finish their time at Demont University and they start looking for a job, very quite often they'll be invited to an assessment centre by these big name employers, so the likes of VW, for example, or NHS, National Health Service, or Jaguar Land Rover, or Enterprise Rent-A-Car, all these global agencies that don't have time to interview graduates on a one-to-one basis, so they deliver a very professional assessment centre. So assessment centres can be things like team building, networking, interacting with one another, getting to know people, introducing yourself, having an interview. And it's really important that students understand how that feeling is with getting involved in an assessment centre. So everything that I deliver today is in the style of an assessment centre, and I always draw it back to exactly why I'm delivering these activities throughout my session today. So let's get straight into it. Can I move on to the next slide, please? So I'm very much about analogies, and I love this analogy. So just a show of hands, does anyone understand what the comfort zone analogy is? Show of hands, does anyone know what the comfort zone analogy is? So comfort zone. When I was a student, I'll talk about myself. I know my comfort zone was out that door, open that door and run away from experiences and settings like this. You will never find me standing up here, delivering a presentation, a speech, even talking to people I never know. That was me as a student 10, 15 years ago. And 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you that's how your students feel, that they wouldn't be able to come here, but we have to be realistic. When they finish university, employers demand doing things like this. It might not be a presentation in front of 100 people, it might just be the immediate team where they have to hand over information, talk in front of their groups about numbers, statistics, strategies. It's required. But what they can't do is just jump from one end to another and expect to do that. It's where the career service are involved in this. We can support them through that transition, that when they do ultimately find that employability level job, they're comfortable, confident in delivering things like this. But remember, their competitors are other students from the UK. A lot of Nigerian students, when I've done credibility interviews, for example, with them, they want to stay in the UK, they want to have a UK job. It's completely fine. But again, we have to be really realistic. Are they going to be able to get a job when they're competing against UK home national students? The answer is yes, but they have to approach a career service, they have to be motivated, inspired, and make sure that during their 3 years or 1 year of university, depending on what they're studying, they're interacting with our services so we can support them. So, the comfort zone, in a nutshell, is, like I said, I use analogies. This is my comfort zone. Stepping outside your comfort zone is an unfamiliar territory, a new territory. It can feel awkward, it can feel nerve-wracking, you can be anxious. But as students, if you yourselves, for example, think about situations where you're not willing to go out your comfort zone, you'll never improve, you'll never progress in life. So how far are you willing to go out your comfort zone? We're talking about students here, but equally we can talk about your own professional journey. How far are you willing to go out your comfort zone to progress? And we make sure students are, I suppose, prepared as much as possible, give them all sorts of opportunities where they can step out of their comfort zone throughout their time at Demont University, and this is what we help with. And that circle there, that's where the magic happens. You might not see it immediately, you might not see it the next day, the next month, 2 months down the line, but at some point, those little steps, you'll see that students will do magical things because of the fact that they're willing to push themselves with the helping hand from us, the career service. Okay, so with that analogy in mind, that thought in mind, stepping out of your comfort zone, and this is what I ask students to do. We're going to move on to the next slide. So, first request today, I'm going to need one volunteer. Come up to the front next to me. Just one volunteer. Once you come to the front, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'm going to give you a topic, a subject to talk about. It could be anything. It could be about yourself, your family, or it could be something totally random. I'm not going to tell you just yet, but I just need one volunteer to come to the front, and I'll give you 30 seconds to prepare yourself and talk about something. Everybody give you a round of applause. Can you just introduce it? Just simply your name.
Lucy Bashir.
Yeah, and who you're representing today.
Inquire Education.
Alright, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for coming up and introducing yourself. You can sit back down.
Thank you.
Okay guys, the purpose of the exercise, when I do it with students or when I do it with professional people, it's one of the most difficult things that you can ever do. Standing up in front of a crowd, in front of unfamiliar people, when you ask people what is their biggest fear, like I said, 9 times out of 10, public speaking alongside, I don't know, spiders for example, is one of the most biggest fears that you have to conquer. But the fact that you came up here in front of everyone, introduced yourself, preparing yourself to deliver something that was unexpected, that's you going in unfamiliar territory perhaps, doing something outside your comfort zone. And the thing is, next time you walk in a room with these people, your colleagues that you network with 365 days a year, they're going to be able to remember your face. I sure am. Do you understand that? And I suppose I said I always bring it back to the perspective while we're delivering this. The UK job market is absolutely difficult, it's competitive, there's loads of people applying for the same job. How are you going to make yourself stand up? That doesn't necessarily mean you have to come to the centre stage and make yourself stand up. That's just me using that as an example. How are your students that you send to the Market University going to stand out in front of a very competitive market? And we can help them realise that potential. I'm not here today to give you reels and reels of information about what we deliver as a career service. You know that information from our marketing material, from banners such as this, from our website. What I want to do here today is give you that feeling of how we support our students, how we're passionate about our students, what we deliver with our students that you might not be aware of, so you're a bit more confident with sending your students to our university and know that they're going to be looked after. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright, brilliant. Let me just have a sip of water and I'll move on to the next task.
Don't you die, bro? Oh, no, that's
Just quite interactive exercise, but we just get some technical issues. It's not this one, the previous one.
Someone who's going to the concert, was in Nigeria. Go to concert of that.
Okay.
Just in 2000.
Leave it. It's not a big deal, guys. We had an interactive activity plan, but what I want you to do is, what it was about is the career service. So when you think about a career service with your previous knowledge, or you might not have knowledge, what do you think a career service can offer your students that you send to the Montfort University in terms of support, in terms of offering? What I want you to do is just write it down on a piece of paper in front of you, and then I'll just ask a few of you, what do you think a university career service can offer your student in the space of 3 years or even a year? And we'll just do that for 1 minute. So just write something in front of you and I'll come around and ask you.
What's the question again?
Career service, what do you think they can do? Career service.
Yeah, what do you think they can do for your student? 1 year or 3 years? Not
Just while you're writing the notes down, what I ask you is just maybe write a few words of what you think a university or the Montfort University Career Service can offer your students that are coming to the UK. I'm trying to not to give too much information away. Yeah, anybody, does anyone want to put their hand up? Anyone got anything on the paper?
That's true. Thanks, sir.
Anyone? Yeah, we've got some at the back.
Okay, so I wrote assistance with professional CV, helping you get professional CV. I think you can get that from the career service. I also wrote career opportunities and offerings that are available. I also wrote access to numerous materials that will help you prepare for the job. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant, thank you very much. Guys, if someone's talking, just a bit of respect, just to listen to them if that's right, because it's very difficult, obviously, trying to speak when there's noise in the background. Thank you.
So she actually said part of what I want to say. CV reviews, LinkedIn profile optimizations, organizing job fair, and probably preparing them for interviews as well.
Anyone else? Just a couple more people.
Any ideas?
Okay, so you can also add to guide the student in making a better career progression and our choice. That really matters.
Okay, they help with how to offer value. Not just how to offer, but how you present your value.
Thank you. Okay, we don't need anyone else. So yeah, we offer a whole load of different services. So I've heard the likes of career support in terms of CVs, cover letters, enhanced cover letters. We offer digital tools, for example, using AI nowadays because the likes of ChatGPT is coming more and more into demand and into play. So yeah, there's that sort of human factor where we have careers advisors, they're qualified, and there's also that sort of technology, digital factor that we encourage our students to use AI. As long as we're not cheating, it is absolutely helpful with saving time, but also getting them to deliver CVs, cover letters, interview techniques, accessing jobs. We also have direct access to local employers. There's internships programs such as sprint runners and graduate champions and ACE internships where students get paid to do internship work. So if you've got any questions around that afterwards, post presentation today, post this delivery, feel free to approach me and I'll give you as much information that you like about any of our services. But I suppose the next slide.
Next slide, maybe we'll see.